Check it out, guys. Now that we have added the front lip to the Mazda B2000, the sides here are looking just a little plain, I think. So let me see if we can switch that. And I'm thinking something like this might be just what the side needs, just to make it look a little bit different and kind of tie in the front lips. So welcome back to Flake Garage. My name is Brian, and today we're going to be trying to add some kind of side skirts here to the Mazda B2000. Now, initially, I had a great idea, at least in my head, that we could use something like this, which is an actual side skirt. This is a side skirt from a 2015 Honda Civic. It is the right length, which is about 75 inches that we need basically from where the front kind of fender ends to where the back one in the bed starts. So all that space there for the side skirt. And again, it looked flat enough that it could work. But once I actually got in here, I spent a little bit of money, started working with it and try to add it to the truck. We realized that basically the kind of brackets that it has in the bottom of it, it's just way too rounded for how the truck is. This truck does not have a lot of space on the bottom. And the roundness of this side skirt was gonna put it just way too high and completely just not look good. We also had to cut some of it and whatnot. So it just does not work. Basically, that's what it comes down to. I did wasted a couple of bucks on this. It wasn't too expensive, but luckily the brackets that came with it, which is one of the initial things that was gonna work, they do work. And I'm gonna show you here on the other side skirt where we're using them. So you don't necessarily have to go ahead and buy this and just throw it to the trash just for the brackets. But if you do get some similar brackets, you can maybe make it work. Now, the other kind of piece to this is this bottom side skirt. And this is just a flat piece, as you can see. This is just kind of a universal style side skirt, I believe. Big shout out to my buddy Ryan. He's the one that gave me this. He took him off his Subi, his WRX 2015. This is back from my Subi days, so big shout out to him. He wasn't using it. This is basically the exact length that we need for my truck. This is what you saw a little bit earlier on the driver's side that we're actually using on the truck. So it's gonna work out perfect. It is used, so as you can tell, we have a couple scratches and whatnot. We are gonna wrap the top of it black so we don't see that. And then I did buy my first AutoZone basically piece of aftermarket mod, if you can call it that. Some freaking chrome edge. I swear to you guys, I have never bought this before. It is gonna make sense once we have it on the truck. I promise I'm not gonna go overboard and just basically add this to anything that has an edge, but I think it is gonna tie our fender flares and kind of the side skirt into the rest of the truck, which I think is going to look awesome. So looking here at the hardware, this is what came with that Honda Civic side skirt. It came with some 3M double-sided tape, a bunch of other little kind of hardware and brackets, and then these pieces right here. Now these pieces are the ones I was mainly interested in when I was looking at the side skirt that I figured we could maybe make work because of this shape right here. Now you can kind of see we have some rails on the side of the Mazda that this will fit into perfect, and I could tell by the photo I could use it even if the side skirt was not going to work for some reason, which it didn't. And again, this is a little expensive for just hardware. Honestly, if you wanted to just buy the side skirts, discard the side skirts and just use this, it's going to cost you about 80 bucks, which honestly I wouldn't recommend. You can probably make these brackets or something similar for way cheaper than that, but again, I wanted to give it a try, and since it didn't work and I already cut up the side skirt over there and everything, I can't just go ahead and return it. But at least you can learn from a mistake. But one of the things about this brackets that I really like was, again, the shape of it. We have it kind of standing out, which lets us put our new side skirt into this part of it. The only thing that the bolts that came with are just not long enough. So I do have some M4 by 12 bolts that you can kind of see here. Basically extends that bolt just a little bit more, and that gives us enough of enough space back here that we can put it and really tighten it into the side rail of the truck, which I'll show you a little bit later. And then I also have some of the hardware from my front lip. You can also use this ones on this bottom part if you didn't want to use this ones. If you want to go ahead and paint this one black or something like that, you can use this hardware, which I believe is also like an M6. I could be mistaken on that. But yeah, so what I'm going to show you now is I'm just going to drill a couple of these holes that are already in place, drill them out a little bit bigger just so our M6 bolts can fit on there. And then we're going to get rid of this kind of edge here. It's my buddy said it was supposed to be black, but with the sun everything faded and it became kind of silver. but it is cracked up and everything, and this is why we bought the chrome edge that we have, so we can kind of replace that with something that's a little bit shiny and newer. And again, we're gonna wrap the skirt as well, so it's not just all dirty looking, and hopefully we're gonna hide some of the holes that we're not gonna be using as well. So here underneath the truck, we're looking at the little side rail, and this is what exactly I meant by this is perfect. If we put this here, you can see that like fits perfect there. And that's what we're using right now to kind of put the side skirt in place. We go ahead and tighten up the bolts back here, make it nice and snug so it's not going to move everywhere. And then we have our side skirt put here. Now again, because they are silver, if you wanted to paint them black, would be a great time to do it beforehand. Or if you do make your own brackets, then something similar like this could work. Or just something that you can just maybe drill into here and tighten it. Kind of like I have here with my lights. That's what this bolt is here. Just one little bolt that's holding kind of my lights behind this so you don't see them. Same thing over here. So it works out great. So that's what I'm using. I'll show you right now on the driver's side so you guys can see it in action. But we are going to do pretty much the same thing here and put it on the passenger side. And here, for example, we are looking at the driver's side. Now, I did play with the idea of putting the side skirt on top so you wouldn't see this bracket as much. Again, I am also using kind of the black hardware here, which does stick out a little bit more. It's all going to be personal preference for you, but I think this looks fine, especially with the chrome I'm going to be adding here to the side, so I'm not too concerned about that. But if I keep riding the truck and it bothers me, then I'm going to take these brackets off and paint them black. But you can see I have basically 6 brackets, so I use 3 on one side. I'm going to use 3 on the other one. Now those are not going to be enough for the whole side skirt because it is kind of flimsy, as you saw earlier. It's very easy to move, so it's not very solid. Right now it looks pretty much straight and solid here because of the brackets. And here on the back I use one of the, you can kind of see right there, I use one of the little things from the power lock install, I believe. I still had those little metal pieces, so I kind of bent it, made my own bracket back here, and just put the bolt kind of facing the other way towards the bottom. Painting them black I think is going to make everything hidden. It's going to look a lot nicer. But for right now, just so you guys can see how it all looks, I'm leaving it as is. But yeah, just another thing to keep in mind, it is not going to be a step. This is just going to be a for look and for show type of thing. So make sure people are not stepping on that and breaking it if you are going to go kind of this route on yours. All right, so we have the 2 side skirts here basically wrapped, and I gotta tell you guys, I am definitely not the best wrapper around. The holes are not 100% invisible like I was hoping for. I didn't think about that the wrap is gonna just kind of contour to them basically, but either way, it should look a lot better than it was earlier anyways. Even if you kind of see the silhouette of it once it's on the truck, I don't think you're gonna be seeing it as noticeable as when it was at the actual hole in there. So I'm okay with that. We are kind of cutting the excess here on the side skirts and everything, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove the protective film so we have the gloss black on it, and then also add our chrome edge to it, and we should be pretty much good to put them back in the truck and should look all nice and neat. So yeah. Check it out, guys. So after battling this damn trim, which I do have a little bit of respect for those people that put it all over the car, I can tell you, man, this thing, putting it on this edge, it was not as easy as it looked, or it should have been. It kept getting caught on itself, and like it was a hassle. So a little bit of respect for those guys, but definitely if you can use it in a way that makes sense like I do here, I think it looks freaking sweet. I know you guys were worried probably when you saw that at the beginning of the video, but this is looking 10 times better. We have the gloss black right here on the thing. It definitely cleaned it up a lot compared to how it was before. I mean, you're still kind of going to see imperfections and whatnot just because the vinyl sticks to that imperfection or whatever, but regardless of that, it looks great. I think it looks awesome. So we are ready to move over to the truck and put this on, and I think it's gonna look fucking mint. And just like that, guys, we have a side skirt here. Now this is more of a splitter in my opinion as opposed to a side skirt. I feel like a side skirt is more of what actually goes down, kind of like I showed you with that Civic one. But again, it does add just a little bit of extra coolness to it, I would think. Makes the side just be a little bit lower, I guess, compared to the front lip, so that way we don't have just one lip and then nothing else on the side. I do think there's still something that needs to be done back here. If you didn't have a bumper, it'd probably look a little bit cleaner compared to mine having the bumper in here, but I do want to pull the trailer with it. So yeah, I think it looks cool so far. Again, big shout out to my buddy Ryan. Thank you for giving me this little splitter here, side skirt, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I think it looks cool. So there you have it, guys. That's how the side skirts came out on the Mazda B2000. Now, some of the cons I will say though, if you are like me and you have some bucket seats, it will make it a little bit harder for you to get out of the truck because that extends a little bit past it. You know, you can't really turn on a bucket seat. You're gonna have to get on top of the seat and then get out of the truck. So keep that in mind. If you have the regular bench seat, if you have any of the other just bucket seats that are not like the NRG style, I think you'll probably be fine. But otherwise, just got to be careful not to step on that thing because it'll probably just come off. And make sure people that are riding with you are not stepping on that. Outside of that though, it came out great. I'm real happy with the result. I think the chrome trim that we added to it was awesome. The gloss vinyl also made it stand out a little bit more. And it looks great. I mean, that just looks awesome there. Real happy with that. Now, the only part that we will have to do something about as well is going to be this rear part here. Just because there's nothing going on there. We do have the bumper, but there's really nothing there. So something to tie on the rest of the body kit I think will look great. If we didn't have the bumper, I think some kind of diffuser piece that went all around the truck here would look awesome. But that would also take a lot of more material, a lot more custom work and everything. And at least right now at the moment, I do want to keep my bumper on because I do want to tow the trailer at some point, someday. I need to do that because yeah, I've been saying that for a while and I haven't done it yet. But outside of that though, I think if we had some kind of small piece in there, something, I don't know, we'll see what I come up with that will tie in the rest of it, will look awesome. Outside of that though, I don't have anything else for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the video, if you like the side skirts, please leave a like. If you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe to it, and hopefully we'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.